unbeknownst to
Look
Dad.
at that. I can just prop it up like that. Boom. I can ask you any questions you want. You know what I was going to ask you earlier? I was going to ask you, when did you know you wanted to be a doctor?
When?
Yeah. Like everyone, like was there a moment?
Probably when I was probably 16, 18.
After your dad died?
No, before.
Oh, really?
But it crossed my mind. It's something that I had a passion for. Even as a child. I remember when I was 12, I used to go every Saturday morning. There's a pharmacist who was a good friend of mine. And he used to extract teeth.
Boy, oh.
And so I would go over there every Saturday morning and help him mix up whatever was necessary to, for the rinsing, and he'd give me 25 cents.
Oh,
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Wait. You would go to the dentist.
It's not
No,
a dentist.
he was a pharmacist.
A pharmacist.
Yeah, but he extracted the teeth.
But he extracted.
And
you did the what part of it?
whatever, he used to tell me how to mix up things, and would mix up some glue and so on too.
What, you were making medicine for people?
We would help him to mix and stuff. Yeah.
Definitely FDA approved.
Hey, he got paid 25 cents.
Paid 25 cents. I mean, that was big money then. 25 cents. Yeah. But then, the thought of becoming a doctor was in the mind, but it was so remote because nobody had ever gone to medical school who did not go to a regular high school. You see, my father thought that he had a 6th grade education, and that was good enough for him. He was, he made it through life as a carpenter with a 6th grade education, and that's what my mother had. But my mother had more ambition than he did. She wanted more for us than a 6th grade education. So, but then I figured out, I said, it was, if I worked and I worked hard enough, I could save enough money to go to college.
When did you have that epiphany?
That, when I was 18, I got a scholarship. Well, I left the teaching profession. The teaching profession used to pay me. I started teaching when I was 14. And it was $6 a month. But you do part-time work.
Less than minimum wage?
You work for 3 days a week, and you go to school for 2 days a week, and for $6 a month. And the government would take 4 cents for stamps. So it was really $5.96. So after 1 year, took that exam, we got a raise. $19. From 6 to 19.
Yes, man.
That's a big
It's
jump.
like a gold mine.
Right, right. Another year, up to 20, I think 29.
Wow.
Whoa.
A month.
Yeah.
So my question then is, when did you know it was a possibility?
Well, I went to work for the government, and at that time, when I left the teaching, I was getting $30-something a month, and I joined the staff of government, civil service.
Secret Service?
Civil.
Civil.
Oh.
I was making $220 a month.
Wow.
So at that stage, I said, wow. For the first time in my life, I could save some money.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
were teachers in general getting paid $30 a month?
Well, it depends on your level.
Oh.
Supernumerary was $6. Then first grade was, I think, 19.
Oh, so it went
Yeah,
up by
so-
grade.
Yeah, it went up by grades. Yeah.
Had you known anyone else that had done it
No. Nobody else had done it.
in your whole town?
My whole time, my cousin, Albert Lockhart, had done it, but he had a father
Right.
who had a steady job with the government.
Okay.
He went to in St. Vincent. We couldn't do the subjects like couldn't do physics,
Right.
couldn't do botany, zoology. They sent him to high school in Grenada.
Oh, wow. Was he living there?
No, living in St. Vincent, but sent him to because that high school had those subjects.
So he was
which
sent
were-
there.
He
Oh,
was
wow.
sent there as a so that he could take those subjects
Right.
in preparation for college.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
So he had all the support.
yeah, right. Now I was depending on my dad. I said, well, I'm 20-some years old. If I saved up now, I could save until I was making enough money.
Right.
But I was giving my money, some of my money, to my mother. Well, I mean, she had never worked, and
Right. Right.
I was the oldest boy.
You're the oldest?
No, not the oldest child, the oldest boy.
Oldest boy.
But I was the one who was giving the most support to my mom.
Right.
So I said, well, if I leave, then whatever support I was giving her, that would be cut off. But my dad was alive, and that was his responsibility. Then at 20, I think it was 21, he died
Oh,
very
wow.
suddenly.
How?
So then I had to completely change or shelve my plans. So I went to Trinidad. I got a scholarship to go to Trinidad.
From the government?
From the government. That's 1 year for drafting. The same type of work that I was doing in St. Vincent. So when I got to Trinidad, it dawned on me that Trinidad could offer me some subjects as an evening student that was not available in St. Vincent. So I would drive take a bus. My work hours were 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So at 4 p.m. I'm off. I take this bus to San Fernando, which was 60 miles away.
Oh man. On a bus?
on a bus.
Oh boy.
So I did that.
How long was that ride?
An hour.
It's
Oh, more, because you have to stop.
right. Yeah,
Probably was
I
2
did
hours.
that 2 days a week. And then, of course, I had to study, you know, in between.
Like on the bus?
Right, fortunately, the work that I was doing didn't require any studies.
Oh.
But the afternoon work, the high, you know, I was doing botany and zoology. That required some studies.
Oh, cool.
So,
Wait, so you got off work at 5.
No, 4.
4. It'd take you 2 hours to get there.
I catch the bus. It took me 2 hours to get there.
Class would be at 6?
Class would be from 6, to 9.
6 to
Oh.
9.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
And then you'd have 2 hours, and then take 2 hours back.
that right.
And you do that all over again. How long did you do that?
Twice a week for a year.
For a year. Wow.
And then on Saturdays, I contracted with this guy who was a high school student. And he was doing, I would go to his place in Naparima, where we would dissect frogs and dogfish, and you know, I would import those things from England. The dogfish, the frogs, my cousins would catch for me on the savannah and bring it home, and I would give them some anesthetic. They could fall, you know, they go to sleep, and I would dissect them, and you can see the heart beating. And yes, that was a good thing. Yeah, I would keep them in the bathroom outside, and that's, yeah.
You just did this for fun?
Well, not fun. This was part of my education.
But you enjoyed it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah.
You dissected them when they were still alive?
Yeah. There was, but I mean, yeah.
I hated when we dissected.
Yeah, but they were asleep. You see.
Oh, they were asleep.
Oh,
Yeah.
slave, yeah.
Yeah,
Slave
they
ship.
were asleep.
Of course.
Yeah, you can chloroform. I just put that over their nose,
Oh.
and they fall asleep. But then yeah,
Wow.
yeah. All my cousins still remember that.
Rawl. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where's Rawl now?
London.
Rawl is in England.
Oh, he's in England.
Yeah.
So,
He went to Oxford, and then he did a degree at Oxford.
In law?
No, and did a BA, and he was supposed to do a PhD, but himself and his advisor at Oxford fell out, and so he left.
wow.
And for a while, he didn't have any work. He became a teacher. And after several years, he went back. He went to law school.
So who in Bayabu was like the most successful when you were a kid? Or is there no one?
The most successful person that I knew was a head teacher
Was a head teacher?
who lived next door. Yeah. He was very influential in that he helped us out. You know, we used to get private lessons from him. Yeah, he was
What was his name?
Bala. Was his name.
Oh, it was Bala. Didn't he run for political office later on?
No.
No, he never did.
Why was he so influential?
Well, I mean, he was at the time well educated. He was the only guy I ever knew who knew music. He played the violin,
Oh, wow.
and he had a lot of skills. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
He came from Evesham, which is near to Mesopotamia, way over there. But he was, from the time I knew myself, he was there. He was a headmaster there for years and years and years.
Why does the name sound so familiar?
What's that?
Why does his name sound so familiar?
I don't know.
Battle.
He still has a son
Oh, yeah.
who we met at a party in St. Vincent the last time I was there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I sat down and talked with him a long time. I
Oh.
haven't seen him for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what did your mom think when you wanted to go to medical school?
Oh, so I didn't even tell her
Oh.
about my decision because I knew that it would be negative. I mean, I was the main breadwinner, so to speak, and if I had told her that, I mean, that would have been devastating for her. So I made my decision, and I took all the exams that were necessary in preparation. And in the end, I just told her that, that would be the best thing for her and for me.
Well, when did you tell her? Like right before you got on the plane? Like,
No, a few months before.
A few months.
before,
months
yeah.
before. After you had taken all the exams.
Right.
But you said you didn't know what the results of the exams were.
I had taken one subject I didn't know.
Oh.
One subject I did not know. And it was my entrance to college was dependent on the results of that subject.
Which subject was that?
It was botany.
Professor.
I thought I had done well, but I mean, that was... So, the university paid for my passage to go to college.
Whoa.
Yeah, they always pay for your passage going, and they pay for your passage after you're finished.
Wow. Right?
So,
That makes sense. Because in
I
the rest of
said
the
to
time, it's just
myself,
like, figure it out.
I'm going to take a chance and go. And when I went there, I went to the registry, and they had the results of the exam. So they told me that I had passed.
Wow,
So-
so you found out there.
Right.
Did you do really well or what? You just
Well, I mean, I did
barely
well.
passed?
So,
Botany is no longer a pre-med subject,
it's-
or even a med subject.
No.
no, here they do biology, which is a combination of botany and zoology. So they separated out there.
So when you told your mom, what did she say?
Well, she just told me after, when she saw the plane take off, her heart sank
Oh no.
because, she depended on me to, some extent, and so. But then what she did was she had some lands that my dad had left, and
Oh,
she sold them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when did you know you had made it?
After the third year, there's an exam called Second MB. Second MB. Second MB was the exam that wiped.
Oh, all
It separated
the
the sheep
riffraff.
from the goats. Right.
The what?
The sheep from the goats. I
The sheep from the goats.
Second MB would be
I'm assuming you wanted to be
A goat.
a goat.
There were
That was
52 of
goodness.
us in the class. I remember that. And after second MB, I asked the professor, how did we do? He said, not bad. 26 failed,
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Half,
half.
Yeah.
which is better
26.
than usual.
Said that was good, yeah.
Yeah, it's not before.
Second MB was a tough exam. I mean, it is a tough exam.
If you fail, you're out.
You have one more chance.
One more
What?
chance.
You blocked the camera.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 2 chances a second MB. 2 chances a first MB.
Yikes.
Yeah. So at the end of second MB, I knew I had made it. Yeah.
What happens after second MB? Is there no more?
No, you have the
Third MB?
now you go to up to second MB, it's all pre-med.
Mm.
The subjects are chemistry, physics, biology,
Anatomy?
pharmacology, anatomy, physiology.
Like all the standard.
Those are the, yeah. So, after that, you go to the hospital after
Yeah.
second MB.
Oh, okay.
Then you go to the
So
hospital.
you feel like you made it because you were down in the
Right.
hospital.
Now in hospital, 3 years.
Is that when you start taking care of patients?
That's start taking care of patients, right?
After only 2 years of med school?
After, it's 3 years of med school.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 3 years of pre-med and 3 years of med school.
6 years
6 years.
before you get to go into the hospital.
No.
3.
Oh, 3?
After 3 years,
Oh, wow.
you go to the hospital.
What was the
But
first thing
those
you...
were intense. You see, it was so different there compared to here.
Right.
In that we did 2 years of anatomy. We dissected these corpses
Right.
from the top of the head to the toe. Every single organ system you can think of.
Ugh.
Here they do anatomy for 3 months.
Yeah. Oh, really? Was it 3
Well,
months?
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a
But that
year-long
makes
course.
absolutely no sense.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's 3 months. Same thing for physiology. I mean, we was Sage. So I mean, when I
Get your fork.
when
Yeah.
we were finished, I mean, we were grounded in anatomy,
Right.
in physiology, and pharmacology. I mean,
Put your hands on the
Yeah.
floor.
then when we went to the hospital, I mean, I was comparing what we did in the hospital to what we did here.
Right.
I had done several. I had removed several appendix
Wow.
in as a student.
That's
Delivered.
On a
wait.
live person?
On a live person?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
Before med school?
No,
No.
no, no,
Oh,
no.
during
After
med
the
school.
3
After
years.
the 3 years.
Yes. You were very good. I mean, very competent.
How many corpses have you gone through?
No,
before?
it's just one
One that you just kept for
for
the whole.
for
You just got
two
to know.
people on each side.
Just got to know that
Like
corpse.
two, right? I mean, we were good. I mean,
How many hours had you spent
well, we
just
used
dissecting?
to go there at 2 a.m.
Oh, Dad.
and would work until 6. Go back, take a shower, and get ready for classes.
Oh, so you would go this for homework for like homework.
Right.
So you would
Yeah.
sleep from 10 to 2?
We would sleep from 10 to, yeah.
Why 2 a.m.? Because
4
it was
hours.
easier to
Because at that time everybody was,
gone.
you rested up a little. And that was the most convenient time for us.
Oh, because it was just quiet.
It was very quiet. Nobody was around.
So you and someone else.
Oh yes.
Who was this other guy?
The other guy
It's
was
crazy.
Brathwaite, who is now
Oh, right.
a pathologist in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would it only be you guys?
No, there were other people who were who doing it as well.
Wasn't that creepy? Being down there at 2 a.m.
The corpse.
with the dead body?
With numerous dead bodies.
Yes.
Dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's
Gosh.
it was interesting. The guy was as an introduction. To anatomy, we were there, and then you have this. There's a platform, and there was a dead body there, and they're covered over with white drape,
Right.
And he is talking, and he said, giving us, what we should expect, and all of a sudden he just pulled the drape off, and then there's a dead body there. Yeah.
What were you thinking when he did that?
Well, I mean, you know what to expect, but
But you don't know what to expect.
Point.
When was the first time you saw like a lot of blood?
Blood.
Like even as a child, because when I first saw blood, I just thought it was the grossest thing ever.
Did you see a lot of blood?
I don't know, what did I cut myself or something?
Blood never moved me really. No. It was never.
It never grossed you out. Never.
No.
It just seemed very normal.
Yeah. You know what to expect. It's, yeah.
Gosh, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's ridiculous.
2 a.m. to 6
So what was
p.m.
your first like operation or first thing you did in the hospital when they finally let you in there?
Well, we did a lot of things. We did, as I said, we moved the appendix. We did tubal ligation. We did a lot of. We used to assist in a lot of operations.
Okay, so at first you assisted.
Right, you're an assistant.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you were just observing and all this stuff. And
Right.
then when was the first time you operated where you were the head
When you
person?
even when you're operating, you're not alone.
You're not
I mean,
alone.
Somebody is there.
But do you remember that time? Like, was it like do you remember what you did? And
Yeah, it was. I think there was a tubal ligation. There was the lady who was in charge was Roman Catholic, and her religion didn't
Allow it?
allow her to
oh wow.
do a tubal ligation.
Wow. Was this an invasive procedure?
Yeah, you have to cut and
Right.
go and tie the tubes off.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it still invasive? I thought it was not invasive now.
Well, no, you can do it laparoscopic now.
Oh. Hmm.
Were you nervous?
No. No, I would never.
Why were you not nervous? You were never nervous in the operating room?
No. Never nervous.
You never nervous that someone would die at your hands?
I never even thought about that. No, you never
Wow.
But
That's all I thought about.
but you have seen someone die on the table.
Yes.
Did you blame yourself?
No, I was not involved. I mean, I
Oh.
was a
You were observing.
bystander.
What about when you actually were a doctor, like at St. Francis?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel guilty if someone died while you were operating, or did you just felt like you couldn't do anything?
That didn't happen very frequently. I mean, you did it in such a way that you expected them to do well.
Hmm.
But sometimes it didn't happen. So despite your best effort, it didn't turn out to be what you would like.
Wow.
Then you, in a situation like that, you really don't blame yourself. You've done your best, and it would have happened under any
Anyway.
other circumstance.
So what was it like telling the families?
Well, I mean, you just have to, ahead of time. You go in before you go in.
Right.
You let them know that this is a dangerous situation. That very often, people don't make it,
Right.
and the chances are small that you wouldn't make it. So
It's a possibility.
you have to decide. Well,
No, that's your brother's.
there's
You're not enough.
are you gonna take the
Go.
chance,
Don't eat over here. Eat over there.
knowing that
It's your
it's a
brother's
possibility that
So as you're walking to go down to tell them, like, how did you feel? Were you like,
well, I mean, you feel awful. You really feel awful. But I mean, you prepare them for it. It's ahead of time. It's the chances of making this very small, but I mean, you're hoping that but most of the time it works out well.
oh.
But
Did anyone ever blame you?
I mean, blame you such a. You let them know ahead of time what to expect, and so.
Did you have to tell Marilyn Kamek that her husband died? Or you weren't there when he died?
Marilyn Kamak?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no.
Isn't that a young lady right there?
He died in Indiana.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was not, yeah.
Oh, what about the woman who gives you biscotti all the time?
No, I don't. He died before yeah. She was a patient, but not him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had died before. He was, yeah.
So you've never been nervous in an operating room?
No.
Even when you're, wow. When are you nervous?
What's that?
When do you get nervous?
No, you have
I mean, goodness.
You
You get
have-
nervous playing Operation.
Yeah, me too.
you have
So I was like,
confidence.
I'm not going to be a doctor.
You have confidence. You know that this is. You're going in there with positive feeling.
Right.
The chance of something happening is very small. So I'm looking on the positive side.
Was it because of the type of surgeries you were doing? Because, I mean, you weren't doing heart transplants.
No,
Yeah,
that's right. So the chance of something happening was very small.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
inserting a pacemaker,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
So even if you were like doing an appendix, there were other people around, so if you made a mistake, they could help you. Is that why you felt
Yes,
more comfortable?
yes,
or
yes,
you just
You had done it so many times.
with the corpse?
Yeah, that you could, after a while, you can close your eye and do it. I mean,
So
that's the advantage. The advantage to going to University of the West Indies, as opposed to here, is that at the university, when you come out of there, now I had done 30-something deliveries before I graduated.
I don't think they let anybody do that,
Right.
right?
Here.
So,
Here, they
Right.
don't let anyone.
no,
No.
No, you
I
have
mean,
to
they can't-
Watch. You
Yeah,
have to watch.
right.
from like
see-
afar,
Yeah.
like from a glass.
See, we had a
TV.
lot more practical experience because in the Caribbean, what they're preparing you for is to be a good general practitioner.
Right.
Yeah.
So almost everybody who graduated from that university came out there with a lot of practical experience.
Right.
And it's later on that people started to specialize. See, when I was a medical student, I went to in Jamaica, I went to a place called Lucy. And Lucy had one doctor for 3,000 people.
Wow.
3,000
Oh my
people.
goodness.
In the town of
In
Lucy.
the town of Lucy.
Oh my goodness.
He was an obstetrician.
Right.
Oh.
He did surgery.
Oh.
He did medicine.
Oh. He probably pulled teeth
He
too.
did pediatrics. I mean, I spent.
He was a pharmacist.
He was. He did medicine.
Everything. I spent 2 weeks at this guy's house just to see how general practitioners operate.
Oh my goodness.
He did not sleep on his bed
Oh.
one night.
Oh no.
He had a 2-story house like this.
Oh.
He had a cot, and then he put in his living room there. And you would be talking to him, and he's gone.
He was the town
asleep.
juggler.
He subscribed to, I think, 6 different medical journals.
Oh wow.
They were all wrapped up in the paper in which they came, piled up and never opened. Never opened.
Well, that certainly would be something to
Yeah.
entice you into the
Right.
profession,
Right.
Dad.
That made me, you know what he told me? He said, listen, boy, you guys from UC, all specialists. I need a person like myself who can do everything.
Yeah.
Not a specialist like you guys.
What's UC?
University College.
University College.
The University College of the West Indies. Used to be
Because
UCWI.
he needs someone to take over for him.
That's right. That's what he wanted, someone who can do it. And that, after spending 2 weeks with him, I realized that was not something that I wanted to do.
You were going to specialize.
Exactly.
That was not something.
Dad, I don't understand why you didn't want to sleep on a cot
I mean,
and never see the rest of your house.
yeah.
Or
So how did you know you wanted to do internal medicine?
Well, that was a good question. We were in, when I went to, let me back up. When I was a medical student, and I went to Brown University, the people that impressed me most were some cardiologists. They were very knowledgeable, and you know, the patients did well. But when I went to do my internship, I met a fellow who was from Grenada, who was educated in England. He was a thoracic surgeon, and that's what I wanted to do, thoracic surgeon. But this guy was the most inept doctor that I had ever met. His judgment was awful. He turned me off so much that I left. I was supposed to be in Barbados for 1 year,
Oh, I think you told me about that guy.
and I
didn't
left
he
after 3 months.
Didn't he get almost? Didn't you watch him have someone die
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't know what he was doing?
Right.
Oh, I know that guy.
he probably didn't even blame himself.
He did.
He had a woman who had an aneurysm. Aneurysm is a weak, dilated portion of the aorta. and you can see it beating up in the neck.
Oh.
You can see a pulsation on that. And when we were in medical school, we had a thoracic surgeon whose name was Mike Wuming, a Chinese guy.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's random.
He said this. He had a similar case. He said, when you see somebody like this,
Yeah.
you send it to somebody else.
Yeah.
You don't handle this. This cannot be done.
Walk away. No way.
Send it to somebody else. Well, we in Barbados, there was this case, same thing, identical. And I was hoping that Nelson would send it to somebody else. Nelson said, well, I can handle this. I just have to cool this down and temperature low, and I can handle this. But at that time in Barbados, to get blood was very difficult. Almost everybody had syphilis or gonorrhea. And,
What's syphilis?
it's a venereal disease.
What's venereal?
So we couldn't get any blood. It was clean.
Well, what is that?
So he had
Good
to,
blood. Good blood.
he waited until the ship came in. These are the Navy sailors.
Oh.
I love how you did not answer that question.
And they would
What is this?
donate blood,
Right.
18 pints
Right.
for this particular case.
Right. So he had the blood.
He had the blood
He was ready.
ready.
Was he ready?
The next day, I remember we had presented the case beforehand at a symposium,
Oh wow, you had
and
presented. Gosh.
this is the first time a case like this had ever been done in Barbados.
In Barbados. Oh wow. So a lot of people were paying attention to this.
I mean, everybody's paying attention.
This is high profile.
Everybody's paying attention.
He's looking like a star.
Yeah, of course.
That's why I wanted to take it on.
And there was a guy there whose name was Leacock. Leacock was a white Barbadian, very skilled, but he knew his limitations. You know, it's not a case that he would handle.
What do you say?
So, I mean, everybody was enamored with the
With Nelson?
enormity of this thing, you know. And Nelson could not be dissuaded.
Well, what did Leacock?
Yes.
What did Leacock say?
Leacock, you know, he looked at it with interest.
Right.
He didn't think this should be done.
Oh, did he tell him? Did he tell
No.
Nelson that? He told him that.
Didn't think it could be done. It could be done. And Nelson was of the opinion that simple.
Wow.
simple.
So I'm assuming a symposium's like a question and answer.
Yeah.
With
Mhm.
with the group, and
Right.
so all these people are asking questions, and Leacock's like, I don't know if
Yeah.
this is possible.
Everybody expressed their opinion. Mhm. But Nelson was positive.
How many people are in the room?
No, they were just not. They were just looking through the. It's in the theater, you see.
No. In the symposium, how many people?
Oh, there were quite a number. All the residents, interns.
Oh my gosh, so we're talking
Yeah.
like 50 people, 100 people?
No. But there was probably 20.
Okay.
Did you tell him what the other surgeon had said?
Yeah. Yeah, I said it, yeah. He was of the opinion that he could cool it down, and he made it sound
Easy.
possible. you know,
And his idea was he was going to cool it down so the
Cool down so-
aneurysm would not be
so the
beating.
temperature would be lower and so the anesthesia was there and the patient to sleep and he's now have the saw and just cut the sternum. Well, of course, cutting the sternum, the aneurysm was right there. And burst. Blood hit the ceiling.
Oh my God.
And then now you're pumping now and
Pumping what?
Blood.
pumping the heart so it goes to stop. You know? Oh, I tell you.
You mean he was massaging the heart?
yeah, massaging, yeah.
I can't laugh at this. This is
Yeah.
Wait, what about the blood? What about all the blood that he had gotten?
Well, maybe people use it. Yeah. You know, yeah.
How long before she died?
Oh, she
Immediately.
died immediately.
Immediately.
Oh. And what did he do?
I mean, what do you expect? Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was his fault.
No,
He didn't think it was his fault?
no, he just felt that this is something that was possible. See, he was a new surgeon, relatively new in Barbados, and this other guy, Leacock, had built up a reputation,
Right.
and he wanted to take that reputation from Leacock.
Oh.
You know, he was
Right.
doing things that Leacock had never done.
Right. This
No.
is his big chance.
Right.
So what happened when it happened? Like, what did everyone say?
Well, what do you expect? I mean, they all predicted that was going to happen.
But he wasn't thrown out.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
And the woman's family didn't sue him.
No.
I don't think suing
Barbados.
in Barbados.
Barbados didn't sue.
My
It
gosh.
wasn't my fault.
But eventually he was discredited, right? I thought that's what you told me.
Yeah.
He lost his job somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, as a Grenadian,
Mm.
you know, he went into the hotel business.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Because he had his license revoked or something?
I don't know, but I mean, his reputation got around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People, small country. Yeah,
I mean, once that story goes around,
right,
who would go to him after that?
right.
Wow.
Boy,
It's crazy.
But I saw the writing on the wall. I mean, it was obvious that he was not a good surgeon.
How do you know? How long does it take you before you know someone's not a good doctor?
It's that you
A few minutes.
can tell very, very early.
What do you look for?
Very competence is something that is easily revealed.
Yeah.
You know, easily.
In any field.
That's true.
When you
In any field.
see, I remember the very first. I was shortly after I came to St. Francis. There was a surgeon I met there from South Africa, South African surgeon, neurosurgeon, very good guy. Tobias was his name. And he called me aside one day, he said, Harry, in medicine, you either have it or you don't have it. and you have it. I don't make anybody take this away from you.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it. You either have it or you don't have it, which is true.
Again, in many fields, it's the
yes.
same.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I have seen it so many times that, yeah,
Have you ever seen it where someone that doesn't have it eventually gets it?
no. There's that quality seemed to be innate. You
Seems
either
to
were-
be.
You were born with it.
But you had
Yeah.
said that you got excellent training.
Yeah,
And you did say that your entire class was actually quite good.
right.
So, are you including the 26 who failed?
Well, no, because some of those, they never made it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you never made it.
Okay, so the 26 who passed the second MB, you felt were solid doctors already.
Yes,
But even if you're born with it, if you don't work hard, then you don't.
right. Yeah, it's that aspect of it is interesting. You really have to, no matter how smart you are,
Right.
medicine could really bring you down to a level that everybody
It
is.
can just humble you.
Yeah. You really, yeah.
Because you see a lot of people that just, based off their talent, without the work ethic, they try to see if they can skate by, and they
Right.
don't.
Right, you just can't make it from it. You really got to put the effort in,
Right.
because it's such a practical thing, and your hands got to be in there. You know
It'll be dirty.
you can see it early.
Well, again, with most fields, that's the case. And just having the raw talent is not enough.
Right.
If you don't have the grit and you don't have
Right.
the perseverance.
Yeah, I remember Dr. Ratti after he came from Northwestern,
Oh, wow.
and he had a PhD. Besides being an MD, he had a PhD
In what?
chemistry.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness.
And we had him, and I told him he went to see a patient, and he had, I think, 8 different diagnoses. Rule out this, rule out that, rule out that. And I saw the patient the next day. And just from the examination, I knew that every single thing that he had written there was wrong. That if they had, based on what he had done, he was now going to order tests based on these diagnoses that he had there. And every single one was wrong. All he had to do was a good examination. If he had done the real thorough examination, he would have ordered one test which would have given you the answer. Otherwise, all the things that would have cost thousands of dollars, and he would never have come up with the right answer. Because he didn't take the time to examine the patient.
Didn't take the time or didn't know how
He
to?
didn't know, probably didn't know how to.
Yeah.
Did you tell him?
Yeah. I called him up. I said,
Oh,
listen,
boy. Oh, boy.
sir, all these things you've written here, which is a very nice list. But you know what? The thing that's wrong with this patient is not on your list.
Oh my gosh. What do you say to that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just told him what the test you should order.
Right.
And we ordered that test, that was the answer.
Wow.
Oh.
I never forget the very first day I went to St. Francis. I was making rounds with Dr. Pascal.
Yeah.
And he said, you know something? There's a woman, this woman comes in there. She comes in here every other month. And we don't think there's much wrong with her.
Mm.
Why don't you go and check her out?
just dumping,
So-
just dumping the worst patients.
The woman had, a stack of, because she came in there regularly.
Right.
Oh boy.
When I examined the lady, when I went back to Pascal, I said, I can't believe
Oh.
that you guys been missing this woman. This woman has a hole in the heart.
Oh.
He said, oh, no.
Oh.
I
A
said,
hole in
Come.
her heart?
come, let me listen, show you how to listen to this. Yeah. And I was just teaching him how to listen.
Oh.
He's a senior physician.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He
Yeah.
was the most
Most
senior.
Most
right.
senior. How long you been there?
One day.
First, yeah,
First
this
No,
is
how
the
long
first
had he
week.
been there?
Oh, he's been there 20-something
20
years.
years.
He was the man. He was the man.
Wow.
Everybody who knew, wanted to see him because
Right.
he was.
Right.
Woman had a hole in the heart that was this big,
Oh man.
and the time we fixed that, she never came back.
Oh.
Never came back.
You think she died?
No, she had an atrial septal defect, which they were missing. So she came in because of recurrent respiratory
Right.
infection.
Right.
Oh.
And that was what was the problem, was she has this hole in her.
So what did Pascal say when you showed him that?
So I said him that, from that time he gave me some respect.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, there is, anytime in terms of auscultation, Alaco was the same thing, he couldn't hear.
Oh.
So, he wouldn't,
They'd like
I,
call you in?
yeah. I remember
Yeah.
one day, Alaco was seeing the patient. He had the patient on the operating room table.
Oh.
And usually, when I go by in the morning, and I usually listen to them before I operate,
Right.
and tell them what the problem is before.
Right.
So I went to there was a Laco's patient. So I listened to the patient, and I said, well, I asked the nurses, what's this patient here for? He said, aortic stenosis. I said, no, he doesn't have that. And I left. So
Dropping bombs and
I left.
dropping the mic and leaving.
So I was next door. I was doing another case, and Laco went ahead and, to his surprise, the patient didn't have that.
Opened the patient
Open
up.
the patient
No,
up.
no, it didn't open up.
Oh.
It was doing an angiogram.
Oh.
Oh.
So he called me for next door. He said, "Well, what do you think the patient had?" I said, I knew he didn't have aortic stenosis, but I think the problem is on the right side. You go, patient had pulmonary stenosis. It's almost the same, but it's different. That's what he had, pulmonary stenosis.
What's
Very
pulmonary stenosis?
narrowing in the tube going to the lungs. And so that's what she had. But it was unusual because pulmonary stenosis is rare, rare. But he thought they had aortic stenosis.
Then did he thank you?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I said, to pull back on the right side, you got the answer. That was the answer.
Wow. So did the doctor start going to you a lot just to get your second opinion?
I had when I left there, I had the most patients. I had the people there. Dr. Edgett was there for 15 years. Edgett didn't have any patients.
Oh.
He was a military man. I mean, he was, he did his things regimented.
Right.
Yeah, but didn't have any. Erickson hasn't been there for 20 years. Erickson doesn't have any patients. All the patients that Erickson has inherited from me.
Oh, good.
He told me, he said, listen, if you don't come back, if you come back, I won't have any patients. Yeah. Not any patients.
Wow.
I mean, it's amazing how.
So, but why did you leave, Dad?
Well, I mean, after I got sick, after I got sick, I didn't think it was safe.
But I mean, you left St. Francis, didn't you, to open the heart care centers?
No.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you were working full-time in St. Francis.
Yes.
And then you guys started opening the heart care
Your group.
centers.
No.
No?
Heart care center was separate from St. Francis.
So you didn't ever leave St. Francis?
No.
Oh.
No. I was there. We just used St. Francis as a place to hospitalize the patients.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys now had more
But
offices.
we didn't. We worked at St. Francis, but St. Francis didn't pay us. You understand?
Anymore.
We did it. We had a private practice.
But you didn't always have a private practice, did
Yes.
you? Oh, you
Yes.
did?
Oh, from the
Yes.
very beginning.
Oh.
From the very beginning.
Wow.
Private,
Oh.
yeah.
I thought you worked for St. Francis.
Did any doctor work for St. Francis?
No, we had contracts with St. Francis.
Okay.
Oh.
Read the electrocardiogram, read echocardiogram.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Oh.
but we never worked for St. Francis.
Wait, but then when were you the chair?
Well, I was chair twice.
You were chief. I thought you were chief of staff.
Chief of staff.
You had a hammer. You got a hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
The chief of staff. Well, that was an elected position.
Right.
No,
What were the responsibilities of that?
well, you were responsible for controlling the rest of the staff.
Oh.
You see, I mean, for instance, we had one guy who was Dr. Stevens, who was a drug, who was in drugs.
What?
Yeah.
He was taking drugs?
He was taking drugs. I mean, one day he went into the intensive care unit and he was behaving strangely.
Oh,
my God.
no.
So, I mean, they had to, they called me up and, we had a discussion and we said, well, listen, we could either, to test you,
Yes.
and see whether or not you have it, or you can voluntarily withdraw.
Voluntarily quit.
Well, right.
Should have had his license revoked.
But he voluntarily withdrew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he knew that he had
Right,
the drugs in his
right.
system. Oh my goodness.
And then he went to a rehab center.
Oh, good for him.
And then when he came back, said, listen, you got to understand the circumstances, and you could be randomly selected any day you want. You say,
Right.
well, just give a urine test.
Right.
Yeah. And so he kind of, he agreed to that.
He
Oh, wow.
agreed.
Yeah.
And then he stayed
Wow.
on?
And then he stayed on.
Wow, I can't believe
Yeah.
you guys took him back.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oh, he was a good neurologist.
Wow.
But
Oh.
Wow.
Why was he taking drugs? I mean, what was he taking?
People have a lot of reasons to take drugs.
yeah, a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems.
Not like pharmaceutical drugs he was taking.
No. These were
Like cocaine or
Yeah.
something like that.
Tobacco?
yeah, there's
Oh.
What other issues did you have to deal with as chairman?
well, that was one of the issues.
The hiring and firing?
No, you don't
No.
hire. I mean, that St. Francis is responsible for any new member of staff. You make an application, and then that person has to be interviewed.
Yeah.
You had to go through their credentials and so forth, and that's how they get hired. But they're not really, they're a member of staff, but they're not really working for St. Francis. the only department where you were paid by St. Francis were pathology,
Oh,
radiology, emergency room.
pathology's blood.
Yeah,
But so you did a bunch of the interviews with doctors?
yeah.
And how did you know when they were bad?
Well, you mean you went through their credentials and you know where they were trained, and very often you have to call somebody in that particular hospital on the, you know, they don't know this,
Right.
but you have to call them and you know ask, you know, what about such and such a person,
Yeah.
Mm.
and
That's when you knew.
you'd be surprised how much information you get that
Oh,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. One guy was, you know, this such and such a guy he's a good doctor, but don't hire him because he can't work with people.
Oh.
Yeah, he just can't work with people.
Oh. Wow. It's amazing how that one sentence could just
Right.
break you,
Right.
even if you're talented.
Mhm.
Wow, that's a shame.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
You're fired.
yeah.
Did you ever hire anyone from Chicago Medical School, Daddy?
No.
Dad told me that's the worst medical school.
No.
Wait, University of Chicago?
No,
Chicago
Chicago.
Medical
I didn't even know that was a medical school.
I didn't know that there's a University of College.
Yeah, Davey's ex-husband went there. He did radiology.
Ex-husband?
X now,
How
yeah.
many kids does she have?
2.
Wow. Where's she live? In Chicago?
Georgia.
Atlanta? Oh my God.
Yeah. But I don't think she lives with her kids.
What?
She got remarried
Where
to
are
a
her
white guy.
kids?
Wow.
I think her kids are up here.
How old are they?
They're Sage and Zen Sage.
They're up here with him?
Or someone.
What? Or
Yeah.
someone?
Well, she left, on her own.
Oh, she left.
She left him and the kids.
And the kids? Whoa. That's intense, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she thought that she could leave, establish, a safe place and then bring the kids, but
Right.
it didn't quite work out like that. She
Wow.
couldn't support them financially. So, you going out, Adams?
No, I'm not going anywhere.
No?
Do you have to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, but better get going. We're
Well, I was
going
waiting for Zan because I was going to get him, he needs new shoes.
We're gonna get we have to go to service at 7.
Right.
So
Tomorrow's
It's
So
Christmas.
Tanya was supposed to come with me.
I know. You better wake her up, dude.
I'll go. I want to go wake her up. I want
Yeah,
to go.
go wake him up at this point.
Sage, I
Don't wake up Zen.
Okay, I'll go wake up to you, Tanya.
Sage.
I'll wake up. Wake up Tanya. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, because she
7.5 hours. Sage.
just Tanya.
Sage.
Yeah?
Don't wake her up the way that you wake up your brother. Do it very gently and very nicely.
No, I just like Tina Tanya, and she just wakes up.
Okay, fine. No jumping on her. Well, Zen hates the way that Sage wakes him up.
I'll just do some Dunkin' Donut rolls on him.
Yeah, don't wake up Zen.
Don't wake him up?
No.
Oh, because
do
he
not
has no.
wake him up.
Started from the bottom, now we're
He
here.
needs to get better. I don't know.